call to order the Ford County Commission meeting for March 18th, 2024. Our meeting number will be 2024-08. To start us off today, I believe I saw Father Wesley Shavy here from Cathedral of Our Lady of Guadalupe to lead us in prayer, and then we'll have a pledge of allegiance.
Sure.
Hi, Father. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you all for the opportunity to pray with you and for all of you today. So yesterday was the feast of St. Patrick. Even though he lived 1,700 years ago, we still have a prayer that he wrote, which I think offers something for us today. So I'll offer a prayer of St. Patrick's today. Let us pray. As I arise today, may the strength of God pilot me, the power of God uphold me, the wisdom of God guide me. May the eye of God look before me, the ear of God hear me, the word of God speak for me. May the hand of God protect me. May the way of God lie before me, the shield of God defend me, and the host of God save me. May Christ be my shield today, and may Christ be in every eye that sees me, and in every ear that hears me. Amen.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, first up, I would like to make a motion to amend the agenda to include discussion of standard housing rate for inmates at the Ford County Detention Center. I would like to drop that into the county administrator's report right after number 4, before the number 5 upcoming scheduled meetings. Dropping in at 4.5. Okay, that is my motion.
I second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, with that done, we have consent agenda that have approval of the minutes for meeting 2024-06. We have approval of additions and abatements, credit card statement, Health Department grant application, Health Department approval of vaccine purchase, and a cereal malt beverage license for Glenn Fetters doing business as the Dodge City Raceway Park. Is Carolyn here today?
Yes,
There she is. How are you today, Carolyn?
I'll put it in.
Great. You want to tell us about our abatements here?
Yes, we just have a handful of them. We actually have one ad on a trailer that the owner let us know he had bought, so we prorated that on. And then the others are just a handful of those. The property owners are coming in now telling us that they bought or sold a piece of personal property, so we're
Okay.
removing those from our tax roll and abating those. So, and we did have a couple of them that became state assessed. We were notified that they were state assessed, and we did contact the state to confirm that.
Okay.
To make those adjustments.
All right. You have any questions for Carolyn? I have none. Is Angela here today? There she is. Hi, Angela. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. What do you have for us today?
The first item I believe is the application for grants. So listed there would be, I didn't bring all the paperwork up with this, the 2 grants that I want to apply for this year. So I'm asking for
a motion, we approve those grants.
Well, it'll be covered in the consent agenda.
And then the second one was approval to purchase vaccine, and that is for flu vaccine for this year, a not to exceed amount. They want us to basically contract with them and pay for a percentage of it when we receive it, and that first allotment will be more than $10,000.
Okay.
But we
What
do.
was that not to exceed amount? I saw that earlier, but I don't remember what it
I
was.
thought it was 25.
25,000? That's what I thought it was.
Yes. Any more questions for me?
You have any questions, Commissioner Smith?
I have none at all.
Thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
All right, I would make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I second it.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And next we have approval of claims for payment. We have $424,319.78. I would make a motion to approve the claims for payment as presented.
I second it.
The motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we are at the point of the meeting for open public comment. We've got quite a crowd in the gallery. We run these on a 5-minute per individual with a 15 minutes per topic deal, so just to let you know, we're gonna start a timer here since we have such a large crowd in the group here of the 15-minute deal, and kind of hold it so that we can keep our meeting going here, but, so we will open the open public meeting, or open public comment, I should say, at this time. So, whoever would like to come up and get started. If you'd introduce yourself
I will.
and tell us your.
May I sit or?
Yeah, please sit down, please sit down.
Sure. All right, so good afternoon. I'm Carla Amelia. I'm Fort County resident, so obviously. We farm south of Dodge here. So my reason for coming is I retired from the Navy back in 2019. And first of all, I grew up here, born and raised. So when I retired, I moved back home and to be near my family, because this is where I wanted to have my kids grow up. We're a farm family, both my husband and my side of the family is. So we have a legacy of a farm family, but now it feels like that opportunity is in jeopardy because we're allowing a lot of these massive companies these green energies to come in and basically cause a concern of damaging our livelihoods and affecting those. In January, you approved a resolution 2024-09 for a conditional use permit and development plan for the construction and operation of the Blue Hill Solar Project. So I'm here to ask you to reconsider your position on this project. I've emailed each of you guys, so I hope it didn't go into your spam or your auto delete.
I got it. I read your.
Okay, great. So then you.
I also, your husband's dad went to school with me in Ford.
I heard that.
That's true.
Good to know. So,
That doesn't mean I was ashamed to do what you want me to do. Okay.
but, so I'd like to ask you guys, why do you feel like this project is good for our county and for our land? You've approved a project that is taking productive irrigated and dry land farm ground out of production, not only for the short term, but for the long term as well. So, as I mentioned, I'd like to know why, and a lot of us would. It seems like more and more of the farmland has gone to green energy. While I understand it's private land and it's up to the landowner to make that decision as well, but it affects more
You
than
have
just.
any windmills on you?
I do.
So will we want us to take him down?
If you want to. We can still farm around them though, sir. You can't farm around.
I know where your ground is, I know where the windmills are, I know well.
That's good.
So when I read your letter, I know all about it.
So, that's part of my concern is if these solar panels, I mean, there are no long-term benefits from them. You're ruining that
Well, and
grant.
there's a gentleman sitting here that knows all about the solar panels. He works on Victor Electric, he says that, yeah. So something, you need to talk to him.
I understand that, sir. But I would still like to voice my opinion.
I understand. I understand.
So, and I'm sure there's other people that have things to say as well. But my point is, this is an agriculture community. And we're essentially opening our door to not only this one, but potentially a lot more. And that's going to start affecting not only farmers and ranchers, but your ag businesses and those types of people. So I just ask you to really reconsider what your positions are on it. And I won't keep you, because I'm sure there's other people that would like to talk.
Thanks for coming in, Carl.
Thanks for coming in.
Am I next?
You are if you'd like to be.
Okay.
Only if you don't cuss me.
You cussing me. I'm Harvey Durstein, Ford, Kansas, been there for 50 years. Farmed there for 50 years. And I'm very concerned about the transmission line they're gonna bring from Buckland to 117 Road. And we're gonna fight that sucker. Because we do not want, it's gonna go about 5 more quarters to be involved. Because you have to go around Ford City, and then to go west, and south, or north, and you can't go north of the city. So anyway, of course, the solar deal, that is lost production on thousands of acres. If it's the regions I hear already applied for, not just this 1,000 acres. They're talking on 1,600 acres down Bloom, and several right southeast of Ford, southwest of Ford. And you talk, all that grain will not be going to feedlots or elevators or into your own bin, lost production, and then also, there is no, I don't want to say it, well, this tax revenue from the solar, the way I understand it, is not going to be based on property value. It's just a 10-year, what do you call it? Oh, set aside. So there'll be no revenue for the county from that high rent that they're preaching about. And so anyway, that's where my issue is, and the production, and the businesses that are affected by the county, selling fertilizer, seed, everything, fuel. So, as far as I'm concerned, and then from the other end, it's a very high cost of production for electric compared to the regular old power plant. So a 30-year limit, when I was in California here about 2 weeks ago, their unit was put in 05, and now they got to rebuild the whole sucker. It's going to cost $30 million. Of course, they'll get assistance, but it's only there, it's big dairy. And they represent for their subsidy for the electric. Anyway, that's where I'm coming from, and if there's any way you guys are looking to slowing this whole thing down, give us an 18-month reprieve to get a breath, you see, because this thing's pushed through way too fast. Nobody knew what was going on, and there's a lot of buyer's remorse out there now. Fortunately, we didn't sign it. Anyway, that's all I have to say. You guys make a decision.
Where's that line going? Just exactly, I know where it's going.
They want to run right up the railroad right away. That's the main.
I'm talking about the railroad that goes forward, right?
Coming from Ford, or Buckland to Ford, Dodge.
I know where you're talking about now.
And to get up there, they have to come around the city of Ford on the south side. And then they have to go west and then north, back up to south of the Ensign Road somewhere. And it goes to 117. So that's, of course, like I say, the solar deal, I'm not worried about the wind. They're out there. transmission line and the solar panels. Cover up 1,000 acres, that's a lot of crop ground out of production. So, and that's just one farm, you're not talking about all the rest. So, that's why I think you guys need to revisit. You were talking about rights as far as property rights. You can't even burn an old house down or a barn on your own property. You got all the way legally now. So that's what I'm saying, there's limits to property rights if it affects other people. And so, I hope you guys will consider.
The story I heard, you went to Florida instead of California.
No, I went to California, I go every year.
Well, I'm just telling you what the story I heard. The report I got was Ford was that y'all, the first night went to Florida.
No, Phil did, he's down there, that's why he ain't here. He'd be back.
All right, I understand.
I went to the Ag Expo out there, we go out there every year, that was a big farm show. And that's where I seen this dairy with all these solar panels, that all need replaced now after 25 years, well, not quite 25 years. 05 when they put them in. Now they got to be replaced, and the old boy said, I'm not sure it's gonna pay off, but you gotta do it, they got the environmental deal.
All right.
Any more?
Anything else, Art? Thank you for coming in.
Yep. All right.
So
We're going home.
Oh, wait.
we're already at about 15 minutes, but I think I'm gonna let some more folks come out and talk.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I wonder if you've been know. Yeah, I'm Brenda Reinhardt Fry, and I live west of Ford.
Matter of fact, you just live a little ways from Troy.
Yeah, we're good neighbors. I have, all of my questions and stuff are pertain to the solar projects. Number one question is, do the commissioners have the authority to make a ruling that agricultural land is not subject to eminent domain?
We do not that I'm aware of, no.
My question to you, I'm going to give this question to you. If you go out 112 road, continue on 112 road and go that way, first one you run into is Leonard Hampton. He wants it. Next is Andy West, and he wants it. And the next one is the old man that had all the land, and he damn sure wants it. He's got sections down. So that's all I can say. I know that they all three of those people want it.
Well, and my understanding of, at first, I looked at things a little different too, until I got more informed about the consequences and thought through the consequences. And when we sign these leases that are 30 years old, we're my age, I'm 76, we're signing a lease that covers 3 generations, at least 3 generations, maybe more. So anyway, going on with my questions, can you require, can the commissioners require an energy company to leave power in the city and the county? Because a lot of this is going, our land is providing energy, all right, we're giving it up to power Indiana and wherever. This one great grant, my understanding is Grain Belt is going to Indiana and beyond.
Grain Belt Express.
Or Grain Belt.
I'm not sure about anything, but I know that the people in Buckland, I must have had 30 calls from the people in Buckland talking about the windmills, about the location, about the airport. I must have 30 calls. Some people you know. That's pretty strange when I don't know who's in Buckland.
Yeah. Well, do commissioners have the authority to require solar panels to be made of materials that produce the least amount of atmospheric heat dissipation? And what about requiring fire suppression systems?
I don't know, but there's a gentleman right back here that knows all about it. He's strictly electric. Wherever he's at, and he can tell you all about it.
So were you guys able to ask Bryce about those questions?
I don't know, Bryce.
Bryce, I I gave his number to Mark. Were you guys able to talk to Bryce right there? He just stood up.
How are you?
Right there, Brendan.
Oh,
He's with that solar farm, so.
Hello.
Those questions, like about that right there, I don't know about that fire suppression part.
but would you have the authority to make a ruling that they have to include those in their installations? That's my question.
I guess you could probably write it into zoning.
Yeah, basically, the solar has a conditional use permit, and in those conditional use permits, the county can make certain requirements as to.
Because it's my understanding that the panels themselves do not burn, do not catch fire and burn very, very often, but the inverters do. And there are companies that provide fire suppression systems that go on each one of those. So, but it's an expense to the energy company. So if we don't require it, is it mandatory they put them on?
Well, I don't know whether it's mandatory, whether it's federal regulations or state regulations, but as far as the zoning permit, it has a development plan, and it has described within the development plan the type of solar product, or the details of the solar project. And that's been approved not only by the zoning board, but approved in the board of health.
Because we aren't, I mean, there's a fire possibility here that we may not be prepared to handle. No,
Okay.
this is my concern. All right. Then my next one is Ford County landfill at present receives waste from at least 2 other counties. And will their solar farm construction and decommission waste be disposed of in Ford County also? And how can we handle that?
Take it down to Maynard.
Yeah.
And another one.
Several people in there know where Maynard's place is at.
Well, yeah, they're already dumping. Can the commissioners make a ruling setting a time frame for cleanup and decommissioning, and that each energy company produce a plan of how decommissioned solar panels and waste will be disposed of? Because I'm hearing they cannot dispose of the panels themselves in a landfill.
May I, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
We have a decommissioning agreement with the Boothwood Solar Project.
And currently, our bonds or escrows, whatever that system is, are they required to put money aside in an escrow account, bonds for that cleanup? And if they do, is there an inflation clause to cover inflation over the years? And who has the oversight of those accounts to make sure the money is put in there?
Can I address that?
So,
You might want to read the decommissioning agreement, but it provides in there that they set aside on their books for the first 10 years funds for decommissioning. And I believe it's after the 10th year, right, Bryce, that there's actually set up funds to decommission the project.
I don't have it with me, but it's after 10, and then at every 5 after, it has to be reconsidered by an engineer to make sure that the decommissioning amount
Is adequate amount.
is adequate.
And they have to provide to us annually that they're doing something to the project.
Okay.
And if it was unfunded, our conditional use permit would be in jeopardy because that's a requirement of the permit. You can pull our permit.
Okay, and what happens when we are permitting these big energy companies to form each project into an LLC with the possibility of not producing or in the 30 years and filing bankruptcy? Then what happens to that? Is all that decommissioning and cleanup back on the landowner?
Well, I don't know that there's anything that prevents anyone from filing bankruptcy. These projects do typically create an LLC for each project under usually a large company. And so that's why they have to provide annually that they have the funds, that they have the funds set aside in order to accomplish the decommission.
And there is oversight to make sure that money is put there.
What's provided to the commissioners annually, that information.
And my last question is, how come we give tax abatements to these energy companies that are making a lot of money, and yet we, the landowners, property taxes continue to rise?
The
It's a
tax
legitimate
exemption is
question.
actually granted by the state of Kansas, it's not granted by the Board of County Commissioners.
But they approved the project.
They had applied
State
it.
statute.
State statute.
But the Blue Hill Solar Project has agreed to make payments to the county during the period of the exemption. So, and to the school district.
And to the school district, or
Yeah.
solely to the school district?
Both.
Both.
To the county and to the school district.
Okay, thank you for clarifying that, because that's been a bone of contention that I'm hearing.
Those agreements are public record if you'd like to have them.
I thank you for
Still
your
have the
attention.
authority for the right to say
Thank you for
something.
coming in. Bless your
Thank
heart.
you. All right, do we have anybody else? Okay. I'd like to thank everybody for coming in. Normally, we leave it at that. We'll take an opportunity to make a couple of comments. One of the topics that was brought up was about the transmission line. Harvey brought this up, and I think in some of the conversations that we've had, we've talked about the right of eminent domain. And I did visit with Jason Brown, I believe his name is, earlier today, and kind of got where that whole process is as far as in a timeline goes. And there's several steps that have to happen through all of this. And actually those projects, those power line projects that they're working on proposing right now, they have not been authorized through KCC yet at this time. That is a step in that whole process that they have to go through. And I shared with Jason that I would be opposed to them having the power of utility that they did have for the Grain Belt Express line. That I would be opposed to them having that kind of authority from KCC for these particular things here. And shared with him that I really would like them to be responsive and to our landowners, our property owners that are going to be affected by this, so that they have some say in where a tower goes or where a route goes in this line. No way that 100% of our landowners are going to be 100% happy. It's not going to happen. I'm not happy where the big one's going. That's going across now.
Well, what I always want to do is get a breather. You guys need to take a breather before you push all this stuff through. Like an 18-month deal or something, but this is
And I understand that you feel like this has gone awful quick,
way
Harvey,
too fast.
but the public notices have all been there, and that's another point that I wanted to address here is we have 35,000 people in this county, and I get the feeling sometimes that when, like you, I'll take you for instance, Harvey, is that you feel like you didn't have great notification on this. Well, the best that we can do is put the information out there so that it's available for people to come and get. If it's gonna be the responsibility of the county to personally deliver information to 35,000 people in the county, that's not even feasible.
But
I mean, we have public notices that we have to make, and they're made, and if we want to be,
transparent.
if we want to be, have the ability to influence the things that are going on for us, we need to be able to take that information, show up at the meetings, and then be an influence in those meetings. And those opportunities were there for everybody that's in this room.
Well, I was at
Wait.
one meeting last fall, and I was sitting right beside Shane, and I didn't know what was going on. It was vague. And this was last fall, I don't know when it was, but they had a rookie in here that was telling all about whatever they were gonna do, but it was just, so that's why
This was at.
it was a
zoning meeting or?
commission meeting right here, county commissioner. When would that have been?
Jim
It was-
Bruce was sitting right over here, and you farm Jim Bruce's ground?
Yeah, no, this was
You
before.
do too.
Yeah, we do.
Farm that ground right down.
But that has nothing to do with that. I'm just saying, that the informational meeting we came to here at the commission, it was very vague. It had some shiny
Now,
guy.
I'm sure the Rosner family that on 112 Road would damn sure want to have this go there.
But that affects more than the Rosen.
I have a question. Was this discussed in a public setting prior to the zoning board meeting? My son and I went to the zoning board meeting about this issue. And there was somebody from the Boot Hill and Victory Electric there. But other than that, there really was no discussion about it. It appeared to us that everything had been decided before we got there, but I don't know of any public meeting before that zoning board. Was there one?
Well, I don't know what meeting that you were.
It was the zoning
It was
board.
the November zoning board to approve the Boot Hill wind project, or solar
Well,
project.
there were plenty of meetings before the one that was
Yeah.
here. Yeah, that
Yeah, it
went
was
through
in the
zoning
basement.
long before it got here, and that's where.
Well, no, this was,
Can I answer that?
that was an actual zoning board meeting in November. I think it was the 27th.
So, again, I don't know which zoning board meeting you were in attendance at.
That was
I
the
don't
one
think
that
all the zoning-
recommended to bring it to the county commission in December.
Okay, Melissa, you had a point?
The public hearing was held in November for the Boot Hill Solar Company, and they were present there. It was made clear to anybody that was against it to please come forward. There was only one person that came forward. At that time, it was, the zoning board voted in favor of it. We announced when it would be going before the commissioners, or commissioners. And so we followed the
But you followed
regulations.
everything in the regulations because
ma'am.
every single thing you followed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so where were all the signs for this Boot Hill project? Out where this project is going?
Did you read the regulations where it says on the signage that that can't be considered part of whether, because I cannot put a sign on every property.
Why not?
Because first of all, I don't have the budget to have 500 signs.
Then that's what you-
But no, it'll read the regulations, it says I don't have to have it. It says that they want it there,
That's convenient.
but I don't have to.
Very convenient.
So the signage is not part of the decision.
No, but it's good for.
So it's-
I would be glad to show it to you. Sure.
it should have been a public vote, it sounds like.
There
to
was
me.
a public notice. It was
No, a
public-
public vote.
It should have been a county public vote,
No.
yes.
No, that's not
Okay,
how we do it.
hold on just a minute. We're not gonna have public votes about what private property owners can do and not do with their property. That's not gonna happen, guys. And I'm protecting your property rights the same as I'm protecting theirs by saying that. Or we can't do that. You know we can't do that. You sit back and you consider that a little bit, and you know in your heart that
It
we
affects
cannot do
more than
that.
just that property owner.
This is a big case, yeah, this is a whole different ballgame.
Commissioner Tassett, Commissioner Tassett,
Yes.
What I would offer is, out of respect for the landowners that are impacted and are not in favor, I would welcome you to come to Victory and us give some of the other side of the project and what it means. Be happy to discuss it. I know there was a question relative to, can you guarantee that the power stay here? And there's a long-winded answer around why that is not. The power generated from this solar array will stay here, but there's a bigger issue with wind generation and things that are going on currently. We're a net producer of energy. We don't have enough load to use it all. So to tell you that all of that energy is always going to stay here, it's not physically possible. And so from a cost perspective and a hedging perspective from Sunflower and what that means for you and I at our homes and our businesses, there's other reasons behind why we support the project. But with all due respect for those of you who don't like it, I get it. And there are losers in this, and people that are losing ground because they rented it before and they're not going to be able to rent it now to cash, to farm it, because the landowners made the choice to do something different. And I understand that, and I don't have a good answer, but I'm happy to try to explain from Victory's perspective and Sunflower's why we're doing the project.
But the electric we're putting in here is undependable. It's not dependable, solar deal. Some days it's good.
It's dependable in the summer and the peak when we need it, when the cost of power is at its highest. Wind doesn't blow when it's hot, typically. And so we can't depend on that. And so there is
I don't know
some...
wind towers, you just don't matter. I'm just saying about the cost of this stuff compared to a regular power plant.
Well, the cost, but the problem is, and this has nothing to do with any of us in the room, there are things at play in D.C. that are keeping us from
100%.
having baseload generation, right?
Right.
And to your point, yeah, there is an argument for that. But the EPA has got a gun to our head, and there's nothing we can do.
Exactly.
And that's, again, not a great answer, but I want to explain some of that, and I'd love to entertain the conversation so we could talk through that. At least you would understand where we're coming from and how it can really help all of us in the room every month.
Can you talk to the water usage as well?
There is no water usage for solar in what regard? Because I would love to understand that.
Yeah, you have to use water to clean the panels.
How often?
We don't
You
know.
tell me.
We actually have no plans for cleaning.
We're not going to use
But if you
groundwater
don't
for that.
clean it, then they're less
cuts
effective.
your-
There's studies for that.
There could be some, if as dust settles on it, you
Yes,
might need to
you
clean
can.
them, but as far as some sort of regular or large water use, that's not even in the plan.
So what?
It's mainly
They
the
may
crop
actually
loss.
use more in my household in a year than what they used to watch the panels.
I told that.
So, I mean, if you have some of those questions, we'd entertain and love to have that conversation with you, maybe at least put you at ease on some of those things.
Mainly the crop loss is what I'm worried about. That's thousands of acres of crop that ain't coming into the elevators, to the feed
Understood.
lots, and that's what I'm thinking.
You open one door, how many more is coming?
Well, and to your point, I mean, there are reasons why companies want to locate where we live. Wind and solar, they're both good resources. And there is a point where, the landowner gets to choose that, yes, they want to lease their ground or no, they don't. And I respect that. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, we're going to pull the meeting back to the meeting here. I appreciate the spirit of the debate. I'd be happy to visit with anybody else further afterwards for, me personally. Bryce is in the back of the room. I know Bryce will be happy to give out his contact information and be happy to answer questions that anybody has, and Shane has stepped up there as well. I'm going to call a close to the open public comment period now, and so we can get moved on with the meeting. But I will be available after the meeting if anybody else wants to visit some more. Next on the agenda, we have no unfinished business on the agenda. Nothing for legal counsel today. That brings us to the county administrator's report.
Thank you, sir. The first item on the admin report is for Kent and King Company.
Okay, so
session. And then engagement letters that Debbie has got for the 2023 audit and budget prep for the county and the fire.
All right, so we had Pat Freese here from Kennedy and McKinney during work session to discuss the audit. Commissioner Snook, do you have any other questions for
None.
Pat?
Man, I can't answer the question. Like these people out here want. I can't. I don't know what to tell them. I'll tell you one thing about it. They're gonna come in, I don't care what we do.
You control it, that's what they told me at the peak.
We don't control it.
All right, hey, we're on a different agenda item here. Let's get back to the meeting. So, I make a motion to approve the audit by Kennedy McKinney and Company.
I second it.
Motion and second, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Next, we have the engagement letter. I'd make a motion to approve the engagement letter for Ford County.
I second it.
Motion and second, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And last on this item is engagement letter for the rural fire district. I make a motion to approve that engagement letter.
I second it.
Motion and second, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, that's all you need from us, sir?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Pat. Okay, fire and EMS image trend. Sorry, JD, that was my last.
This is our software program we utilize for both EMS and fire reporting. Our reports are able to be transmitted to the state requirements. This is a budgeted expense, and it's about the same as it was last year. Now I'm asking for $15,462.97.
I make a motion we approve that.
We have a motion to approve the invoice for $15,462.97. I would second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next item is for planning and zoning director, Melissa Gray.
What you have before you is resolution 2024-18.
Yes.
This is for cost construction that's seeking to operating the mobile concrete plant that's located at the southeast corner of the intersection of Highway 56 and South Highway 283. You passed this resolution in 2023-10 for them to have a mobile concrete plant there, but they had requested it only to December of 2023, and they are not done with the roundabout, so they are needing to continue the operation of the concrete plant. And we are asking for it to expire on December 15th, 2024. And I do have a representative from Cost Construction here. His name is Chris. If you have any questions for you. He's way in the front.
Chris is a brave soul. Please come on.
Posse.
Yes, you're a brave soul. I'll hand that to you. So, I'm sitting here almost reluctant to approve this to December 15th, 2024.
Yeah, I guess the purpose of that was just so we don't have to do this.
Come back and do it again.
we're shooting to be done in June, July, first part of July timeframe.
You were obviously shooting to be done by December 20th last year though, too.
That's when the contract was supposed to be over with. We had some issues we're dealing with the Kansas Department of Transportation, so.
So we put it out to December 15th, 2024, and we got that time frame. Why, I mean,
I'm just
you
doing
understand
that
where
for
I'm
now.
going, I know where you're going with it, but you understand my reluctance. If they give it to December 15th, we're gonna use it till December 15th.
No, I mean, we are, right now, we are incurring penalty with the DOT right now. So we're trying to get done, so we can get off of that.
Is
We
this
got-
the cheese plant?
This is the
No, this is
roundabout.
the roundabout next to the cheese plant.
That's part of the cheese plant.
Well, we are contracted with the Kansas Department of Transportation.
Right.
The cheese plant. I think it probably all has something to do with it.
I feel sorry for you, but
Well, I brought this up with the Secretary of Transportation about the penalties that you guys are paying back and what I think needs to be done with that money as far as our folks that sit down there in businesses on South Second that have suffered through
Massive.
however damn long this has gone on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing there, but
I do see that there is some construction happening there over the last
yeah.
few times that I've been down there. I'm thankful to see that.
We want to get
I
done.
would very much encourage you to yes, shoot for that June or July timeframe.
Yeah, like I said, we're incurring penalty. That's between us and KDOT, the issues we've had with them trying to get that project going, so.
Okay,
I guess at the time being, when I filled that out, that's what I was, so we're not doing this multiple times.
I get your reasoning. Okay. I'd make a motion that we adopt resolution 2024-18.
I second it.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? I'll call a vote so this gentleman can get back to work. All those in favor? Aye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The next item is to schedule the 2025 budget work session. I think the way we've done it the last couple of years has worked really well. We had 2 separate days for the outside entities, and then we had a full day for the county departments. Maybe it's been more than 1 day for the outside. I think it was 2, right?
Not last year.
Was it just over a bunch of them? Would you want us to try to schedule the outside entities to be all at one day?
That's what I'd rather do.
I didn't hear what he said.
Talk about scheduling the outside entities for their budget request hearings. I'd rather do it in 1 day if we can.
I'm sure we could probably set that date for them, but we probably just won't see the same representatives that generally report. It won't be the same people probably. So I think there's 14 or 15 of them.
I gave you that information on the spreadsheet.
Yeah. There's 14 or 15 of them. What day would you like that to be?
In May, is that correct?
Debbie set our budget deadline for May 1st.
Oh. 1st.
I need all her budget information by May 1st so we can put it together and present.
Is that different than in years past?
We've always ran right up to the deadline. I have to have the R&R resolution by July 20th in order for us to put everything together and have Pat and JD and everybody go over the budgets and cut back what we need to. Trying to get it more in line to not rush.
Okay. Do we have schedule for the department heads yet?
No.
Or are we looking at that schedule as well?
This one too, yeah.
Is there any way we can coordinate it with our other regular meetings?
Yeah, we can do the first regular meeting. Well, we missed that May 1st deadline. We could do the last regular meeting in April, which would be the 20, oh, that'd be the 15th.
15th.
Yeah. If we did that on April 15th, we could start the budget work sessions for the department heads at 8. I mean, we're usually done by noon, 1 o'clock anyway. We usually run ahead schedule. I think we usually schedule out till 2 or 3, but we usually ahead schedule.
Right. And could we do the outside entities the first?
Yeah, I think so.
If we could do outside entities the first and the department heads the 15th.
I mean, the issue with the first deadline that Debbie's put out, one, we didn't have input on that. The department heads and admin, but that puts us so far ahead in the budget season, it doesn't give us time. I mean, if we're looking at April 1st for the outside entities, we're giving them 2 weeks.
It's not on us. Give them 2 weeks. Let's go.
Yeah, then we can do it on April 1st, 1st and the 15th.
You can also have them submit a physical versus presentation.
I'm approved, yeah.
It's up to you.
So April 1st, outside entities, and April 15th, department heads.
Department heads.
Got it.
What time do you want to start on April 15th?
8.
8 o'clock would be fine. Hopefully that works with the chairman.
April 1st start time for outside.
You want to start them at 8 o'clock too, April 1st?
Are we gonna have as many there, or?
Well, there'd be about 5 less to start with, probably.
We could probably start that mid-morning and have plenty of time, wouldn't we?
We'll start
9:30, 10 o'clock.
Let's do it. 10 o'clock. All right, item 4A, 4.5. Your sheriff.
Okay. This is about our standard housing rate for inmates at the Ford County Detention Center.
Yes, sir. We are asking for a new resolution 2024-19 to be approved to up the standard housing to $50 starting January 1st of 2025.
I'm making a motion that we adopt that.
I would second that motion to adopt resolution 2024-19. Any further discussion? And just for information for the public here, this is a resolution to increase the housing rate for inmates at the Ford County Detention Center from $40 a bed per day, is that correct?
Yeah.
To $50, and this would be beginning January 1st, 2025. The reason for bringing this up and getting it adopted at this early date is so that the other entities that use our jail for their jail services have the opportunity to get it put into their budget years this year for that increase. So if there's no further discussion or questions, I'll call a vote. All those in favor? Aye. Thank you, gentlemen.
The upcoming meetings, we have election day, that's March 19th. We have the canvass, that will be March 25th, that will be here in this room with the county commissioners, the board of county canvassers at 9 a.m. We have the Southwest Kansas Highway Association meeting that will be at the expo from 9 a.m. to 3, March 20th. We have the annual township meeting that will also be at the expo, March 21st from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. We have the Kansas County Commissioners Association meeting April 16th to the 18th. That will be in Pittsburgh at the Kansas Crossing Casino. We also have the Kansas City County Manager Conference in Lawrence from April 25th through the 26th. That's all I have for the admin report, with the exception of the executive sessions.
All right, we have 2 executive sessions on the agenda for today. Both of these executive sessions are for personnel matters and non-elected personnel. And I would make a motion that the board recess into executive session to discuss an employee hire for the Western State Bank Expo Center pursuant to the personnel matters of non-elected personnel, exception to the Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319B1. Open meeting to resume at this location.
I would say, let's start with 15 minutes.
We'll resume at this location at 4:45. Need commissioners, county administrator, assistant county administrator, county counselor, assistant county administrator, county counselor to be included in the executive session. That is my motion.
I second it.
Motion and second. All those in favor? Aye. All right, we are calling the meeting back to order after the executive session. No action to be taken. We have another executive session on the agenda, and I would make a motion that the board recess into executive session to discuss the county administrator's evaluation and employment contract pursuant to the personnel matters of non-elected personnel, exception to the Kansas Open Meetings Act, KSA 75-4319B1. The open meeting to resume at this location.
At least 15?
Let's make it at 5:10. Is that?
That's fine.
Yeah. 5:10. will resume in this location. In addition to the commissioners, we need the county administrator, county counselor, and assistant county counselor. She's not here today, is she? So county administrator and county counselor will be joining us in the executive session. That's the motion.
You talking to me?
I need a second.
I second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. All right, we are done with the executive session. We'll call the meeting back to order. Glenn, would you like to make your recommendation there?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I would recommend that the board approve the employment contract that's been presented or discussed during executive session, which is a 4-year contract for the county administrator, with one change to be made to the presented contract with regard to vehicle allowance, and that the benefit of operating and maintenance expenses being paid by the county shall be for Mr. Gilbert's current vehicle. And should he decide to substitute a vehicle for his current vehicle, the Board of County Commissioners would have to approve it in order to continue that benefit.
All right. I would make a motion that we approve the employment contract with Mr. Gilbert. With a motion and second. Any further discussion?
Further discussion, Chris?
Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All those in favor? Aye.
So the Wednesday deal out there at Expo Center,
Yes.
what's the time?
You vote in favor.
What is the times we're supposed to be out there?
He voted in favor.
That'll be from 9 a.m. to 3. And Thursday, 10:30 to 1.
That's Wednesday and Thursday, right?
Yeah.
All right. I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second it.
All those in favor? Aye.